In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 setups that I'm watching very, very closely on this short trading week, primarily for running the wheel strategy. And if you drop a comment down below on today's video completely for free, I'm going to give you my full Ark Options Strategy guide that takes your wheel strategy to the next level. And while you're down there, I would really appreciate you hitting that like button and that subscribe button. And of course, I hope you're having an absolutely God-blessed day. But let's get into these setups that I'm watching on this very, very short trading week that we have. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing Christmas and holiday season. But with that said, we may still have some juice to collect this week. So first and foremost, eyeing very closely, I'm watching Nike. All right, Nike, looking at the chart right here, we can see we are trading around 58.71, down to over 10.5% here on Friday, 31 on the RSI, oversold, right? We are well below our 200 and 300 day moving averages at this point. And we can even see, right, the one thing I'm really watching on this, I'm going to move myself over to this top corner here. Really on Nike here, I want to see, how are we going to test this like 54-ish level, right? Where we saw that big drop across the board entire market in April. But I am still very, very bullish on Nike. I love that it's a dividend payer. You guys know part of the Ark Options strategy is that I primarily run them on dividend paying stocks when I can, because I want to get that double income, right? I'm collecting cover call premiums on a weekly basis or monthly basis, plus I'm collecting a dividend yield. Now the dividend ain't insane here, just under 3%, but still, hey, I'm not no leaky buckets. All right. So what strikes am I eyeing? Well, primarily I'm going to be looking close to the money, right? Because the unfortunate reality with a stock like Nike is if you're not playing close to the money, and a lot of these boring dividend payers where I'm really focusing in for the remainder of this year, you're not going to get enough juice, right? And we want to be still kind of incentivized enough. Now, if you're running weeklies, of course, you got to figure out what your ROI on collateral is for you, what's best for you. But me, primarily right now, where I'm at with my life, I like to be doing primarily monthlies, and there's only one stock that I really do a lot of weeklies on. And I'll share that in just a minute here. But taking a look at even the 58 close to the monies, right? Just under $1, right? Delta's 41, so you're playing a little bit more aggressive here, right? Also, make sure this week, if you're opening up your positions, watch that bid-ask spread. Always, I stress this enough. You guys are leaving money on the table if you're not going to between the bid and ask. Most people just do a market order and just take the bid, especially a week like this where it's like, people have mentally checked out through the holidays. So you want to make sure that if you're doing positions this week and stuff, right, make sure you are keeping an eye on that bid-ask spread, because they're going to be wider than normal, right? So right here, we could see we're collecting about, middle point, roughly, let's just say like 145-ish, right? $145 in premium. Let's go toss this into my cash secured put calculator. Let me move this little screen thing over. What are we collecting here? We said we are collecting 145. We're collecting 145, and our strike price that we're selecting here is 58. So we're locking up $5,800, right? And we're collecting about a 2.5% return on our money in about a month's time. That is not a bad trade in my opinion, but obviously higher chance of assignment. If you don't know what this is called a cash secured put, where I'm saying at close on January 23rd, I'm willing to buy 100 shares of Nike if it's trading at $58 or below. If it's not trading at 58, if it's trading at 59.60, whatever, right? I don't have to buy the shares. My collateral is released, but the big risk of this obviously is if it's drops down to 57, 56, right? You're on the hook to buy your shares at 58, right? So you have to make those decisions for yourself. If we clock open to 57s, right, we've got a 32 delta. This is more in line of a trade that I'd personally do right now on this. But we could see we're collecting about, let's just say 110, about $110 sell a put, collecting about 100. One second, let me cross this out. We're collecting about $100 of premium here, right? About $100 of premium. So let's go take a look at what that looks like. We're locking up a little less, obviously, collateral here, 5,700, right? And just under 2%, right? So you kind of have to weigh those risks for yourself. Me personally, if I can, I want to get to 2%. Obviously, results vary, not financial advice. That's not always the targets that I actually hit. But you got to figure out where your risk tolerance is, where you're at in your journey. what you can afford. Me personally, though, I'd probably do the other trade, the 58 puts, just because I actually like Nike. I think we've been getting beat up, and usually when we see these kind of massive corrections, like 10.5%, usually we see a nice little bounce off here. Especially when we look at the volume profile here, we could see that a lot of buyers were stepping in historically at 61, 62, 65. So I do think there'll be a nice recovery, a nice bounce here on Nike, especially going into this Santa rally. So hopefully we see that. Next one, real quick, I want to quickly hit on it. You guys know this is my most traded stock right now. Obviously, I always got to be watching it. Always watching it. This is my weeklies. I run a lot of positions on SoFi right now. It is my most traded stock of this year. I trade it multiple times a week with my cash secured puts, and that's primarily been my focus for my weeklies is SoFi. Really, that's the only stock I personally do weeklies on right now because I don't care. I literally do not care about the technicals even. Like, I'm not trying to time this thing at all. I'm running cash secured puts and I'm running covered calls. Now, of course, I try to time my entries as best as I can, right? Like this past week, I had some nice trades on SoFi this past week with that volatility, man. Oh my gosh, man, I was closing out like within a matter of days. If you don't know what the 50% rule is, basically, once I was capturing 50% of my premium collected within a matter of a day or two. If you don't know about that, head over, attend the Ark Options Strategy workshop. Click the link down below. And then at the end of that, I also give you my full trade log template as well as 2 premium calculators. But my goodness, how fun SoFi has been to trade for me this past year. But I'm going to continue doing cover calls. I'm going to continue doing my cash secure puts, weeklies. I'm not too worried about like the moving averages. When opportunities come, I'll jump in a bit more. But even right now, if we have a slower kind of stalled week, which I doubt it, we're going to see some volatility. Hopefully we see. But we could see, man, look at this massive volume spike around that 26. That could really cause that big spike up for us. But next stock that we're looking at, I did want to just quickly touch on SoFi, is some of the more boring stuff. Again, I'm focusing on boring stuff right now, especially into this new year. Just trying to diversify myself a little bit more with nice dividend payers. You guys, again, I love the dividend payer stocks, and I'm watching Kimberly-Clark. I'm playing very close to the money with Kimberly-Clark. I think the 100 puts for me are where I like to be. Great support here. We have a ton of support at this 100 and especially that 103 level where we see a ton of buyers stepping in on the volume profile. Obviously, we saw the big drop after they announced that they will be purchasing Kenvue. That's short term to me. I think over time, this stock will be back at all-time highs again. That's my personal thoughts. Obviously, not financial advisor. Do your own research on this company, but I love that it's a great dividend payer stock, right? I love dividend paying stocks. I love stocks that are getting beat up. I love stocks that are well below their 200 and 300 day, and I love stocks that are making acquisitions and growing, right? Short-term pain, sure, but guess what? I get a nice little 5% dividend on top of my potentially running weeklies on this as well. Let's go take a look at what we're getting. Even like on, let's just go out. We'll keep our expiration date around 33 days. $200, about a little bit more. Let's just say 230, 233. Collecting about $230. We'll say on about $10,000 locked up. About a 2.3% return. A little bit higher risk, but for me personally, go do your own research. You know, I play close to the money with Kimberly-Clark because I think the 100 levels here on KMB is a huge psychological level. If this thing stays below 100, then it's good. You know, it's a little worrisome for sure, but we have seen a ton of buyers step in at this 100 level and get this stock back up a little bit. So we will see. I've been playing this one since the drop of KMB, had a nice recovery. I was doing a lot of 100 puts. We had a nice recovery back to 109, and then we kind of seeing this decline here this month so far. So I'm going to take advantage while I can on great dividend paying stocks that don't necessarily come on sale as much as we would like. All right, next one is another boring one, is Altria, okay? Altria down about 0.5% on Friday, but still getting fair, for the most part, a little bit, beat up here. Since we saw a big drop here, and it's really been just bouncing around this 300-day moving average of around 58.20, right? So what's the play here? Well, again, similar to KMB, boring dividend payer, very, very boring dividend payer stock. But this dividend, man, this dividend is nice and juicy the way I like it, right? What is current? It's like what, 6-something%? Let's go scroll down here, 7% dividend yield. Now, obviously, there's risk here. Obviously, they call this like the sin stock, so to speak. You got to go do your own research on it. But this has been one of my favorites of all time to run the wheel strategy on. Now, again, your premiums aren't going to be like insane like you're seeing on the SoFi, right? For sure. But guess what? This is more of, I'm an income investor if I have to classify myself as one, guys. I primarily, when I'm selling options, I'm looking to capture premiums in both directions, my cash secure puts, my cover calls, right? And then I'm collecting my dividend payments. I'm collecting my interest on collateral while I wait to buy stocks. And of course, I'm collecting that appreciation as well. Literally 5 sources of premium income. That's why I call it the Ark Options Strategy, right? It's literally a fortress that you're building. But again, these dividend paying stocks are different than when you're looking at tech stuff, guys. When you're looking at Nvidias, Oracles, SoFis, right? You're able to go a lot further, away with your strike prices, but you're really not able to do that with these dividend payers, especially the ones that have been getting beat up here, right? We have some support here at 56, but still, even at the 56 puts, if we look at that, I mean, you're collecting $51, right? Let's just call it 60 between the bid and ask. Well, we're collecting $61, 61. Just say 60 for simple math. $60 on 5,600. We said, right? All right, we're at 1% in a month. Now, again, if I'm gonna do, I will not do a monthly. Typically, if I'm only getting a 1% a return on my collateral, it's not worth it to me at that point. For me, if I'm gonna do a monthly, I want to be closer to that 2%. Otherwise, you might as well just do weeklies, right? If you do the weeklies, you're playing close to the money anyway, so you could do it, right? That's what's cool about the strategy, guys. I always constantly say it to people, is you can make this strategy whatever you want to fit your lifestyle. And it really is that way, right? Because even if I do the weeklies here, let's just go out 12 days, right? For our next one, look, at the 58, I'm getting $100 of premium, right? I'm getting $106. We'll just say a little bit more, but let's just say 110. So 110, right? 110, 110, you're collecting $5,800. It's about a 10-day expiration, right? So we'll just say you did that trade 3 times. But look at that. You're getting about 2% in a 10-day period. Obviously, higher risk, you don't have time on your side as much as a monthly. So that's why I always say with weeklies, I would say definitely be more of an advanced option seller, like after a year or so of doing this, because with the weeklies, management does it's not going to be a 15-minute a week thing. When you're doing your monthlies, sure, it could be a 15-minute a week thing, but when you're doing weeklies, you expect you're spending a few hours of your life managing your positions, closing out, buying to close early, good till canceled orders, tracking, right? It just gets a lot more in depth that you're going to need to pay attention to, a lot more numbers when you're running those weeklies. But yeah, there's no question about it. Your weeklies are usually going to give you a much better return as opposed to running your monthlies. That's just the way it is. But again, that comes with its own risk that you need to be made aware of. And then the last stock, I know it's boring. I'm looking at these boring ones because I'm going to get in on them, right? Man, Verizon's been good to me as well this past year, down another 1.5% at close here on Friday, right? So what am I watching here? Well, me personally, we saw a nice bounce here recently when it came around the 40 level, but I'm going to be looking at 39s again. I've been running the same damn play, it feels like, for the past couple months on Verizon, just playing close to the money. A fantastic, again, you see a very similar, a great dividend payer, about 7% dividend on this thing. Now, am I super bullish on Verizon long term? I'm going to be honest, not really. I'm going to be honest. I think they can be disrupted in the next 10 years for sure. But with that said, I'm a Verizon customer. I love their product. They have the best internet. That's just the reality that we're living in right now. And I'm going to take advantage of it while I can. I've been trading this one for a long time, so I'm going to take advantage of it, right? It doesn't require a ton of collateral, right? Premiums aren't insane by any means, but again, collecting look at how wide this bid-ask spread is. So collecting about $50, hopefully, if we get filled at that, $50 of premium on the 39s, right? Let's do $3,900. So what are we getting here? A 1.28% return. See, it's just awful, right? Just absolutely terrible. So in this case, I probably wouldn't even do this trade at all. I'd be looking at some of the other positions, but obviously once market opens up, I'll be able to better guess, or not guess, better see which one actually suits my need. Because if I'm playing close to the money, guys, to be honest with you, I better be financially rewarded for it. Like if I'm taking on that risk, remember, we're taking on risk. We're selling insurance. We're a business. In my opinion, I trade to sell an option like business. I'm going to weigh my risk, right? Like I'm going to weigh my risks on this thing, right? I can't stress it enough, right? So I need to weigh that out. If I'm taking a 33 delta, right? I'm playing right at the money and I'm collecting 1.28%. No, shoo. I'm not doing that trade. There's no way. I'm going to go do a KMB. I'll go do some of the other, I'll do a SoFi wheel. I'll do a weekly on a KMB or whatever, or Altria, right? If I have to. But this is why it's so important to be tracking this stuff and see what actually fits your specific targets wherever you are in your financial journey, right? Somebody that's doing this for their retirement income is going to be trading totally different stocks and ways than somebody that's just doing this for fun in their free time, right? I call this like one of the best hobbies ever, and I absolutely love it. I wish I started this when I was like literally 21. I started this about 5-7 years ago, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I've always done it kind of like as a hobby, and started really this past year taking it a lot more seriously. So if you want to learn more about this, especially if you have a smaller account, you do not need a massive account to do this. Plus, I'm going to give you all my calculators here for free. I have a 90-minute training I want to invite you to. Click the first link in the description. It's our Ark Options Strategy workshop. I'm going to show you how you can combine 5 sources of premium generation into one simple strategy, commonly known as the wheel strategy, but plugging all of those leaky bucket holes that the wheel strategy has. So click that first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.